What is up? We have hit 200 subscribers. That is right. It's an incredible number. Truly, it blows my mind. And so we're here. And last time I had a big milestone, 100. We had a nice Q&A. We had a couple questions. There's some funny moments, things like that. And so we're doing more of that today. So let's just get right into the wonderful questions that you have all prepared for me. And if you're watching this video and you're like, whoa, I didn't know there was going to be a 200 subscriber Q&A. I wasn't told about this. That's because you don't follow me on Instagram or you have me added on Snapchat. And you can do that. You can change that right now. So the next one, you're there for. Okay? So make sure to follow me. It's at theglussman5. That'll be in the description. Okay? Don't you worry. Also, follow my Twitter as well. And if we're following everything, make sure you hit up the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MJD3Jag. But anyways, that's all the stuff I got to plug. Let's move into the questions here. So the first question that we've got here is 12-hour live stream when? So most of you probably don't know, but after the 100 subscriber Q&A, I was feeling pretty out of myself. And I'm like, you know what we should do for the next one? Keep messing with this hair here. There we go. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. What if I did a 12-hour live stream for 200 subscribers? And so I kind of expected it to be a little longer before we hit it, because it took 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years, to hit 100 subscribers. So, maybe like cut that in half and make it 200. But no. We've grown a lot faster than that. It's been about 9 months and we've hit 200 subscribers. And since we've hit 200 subscribers, we're now at like 205, 206, somewhere around there, which is pretty crazy, okay? That's a lot of people. But I want more, okay? It's not enough, dang it. But anyways, I don't know if the 12-hour live stream is the right thing for the moment here. Okay, I know a lot of people want me to do it, but I'm just going to push it back, okay? Maybe the next milestone, we'll do it then. But there will be at some point for the Mickey G Productions a 12-hour live stream. But don't worry, that doesn't mean there's not going to be a longer formed live streams. The last live stream I did was 4 hours because Donovan just would not let me not dig to hell. And also, so I had a lot of plans for what I was going to do for the 12-hour live stream. I had little sections and stuff. I'm still probably going to do a lot of those sections here, but they're not all going to be live streamed. But one that's definitely going to be live streamed is the speedrunning Minecraft. That was definitely one of the big plans that I had for it. So I'm probably going to be doing that later today. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That's why I got to go follow twitch.tv/MJD3Jaggy. Okay, it's important stuff. You don't want to miss that. You come hang out. We can talk in the chat. Keep me from getting bored out of my mind. So that's the answer to the 12-hour live stream. When? I don't know. Depends on how quickly we hit the next milestone, okay? I don't know if I'm going to be doing a 300 subscriber special or 400 subscriber special. We might wait till 500 because I feel like we can hit that somewhat fairly quickly. I don't know. Because we don't want to have too many of these right in a row, unless of course we just jump up like super fast one of these days. But at the moment, I feel like the next one of these Q&A special things is going to be at 500. So if you want to get that again, you got to get moving quick here, guys. All right. Next question here we have is, what were some of your favorite high school memories? So I feel like for my favorite high school memories, the one that really sticks out to me is the beach. Now, if you don't know the beach, let me tell you here, okay? So the beach was, it was prom night, but it was before I was able to go to prom. I was either freshman or sophomore. So one of the guys, that's one of my friends, Leif, his birthday was the same around time. So we were going to a camp that he has like a RV and stuff like that he goes to a lot. And so we had a bunch of friends go there. We were gonna spend the night, played a bunch of games, stuff like that. And about 5 of us had the brilliant idea to sleep on the beach. Okay. And that sounds like a fun idea. The boys getting together, sleeping on the beach kind of a thing. We had a nice fire. We had a little tent. But there's a couple things that we were missing. We were missing pillows and blankets. Okay. And I thought about being like, hey, I could ask my mom or my dad to come bring me something. But I'm like, they're probably asleep. Here's the thing. They weren't. And want to know why they weren't? Because it was prom night. And at some point, my brother was going to need grabbed. Okay. Back home. So they were awake. My mom at least was awake and for a longer amount of time. So she could have 100% have grabbed me a pillow and blanket and stuff for the guys. So instead, we had, our sweatshirts and some book bags. And those were our pillows and blankets. And it was on the sand, and sand doesn't hold heat very well, right by the water. It got pretty chilly. So we had probably about a solid 3 hours of sleep, maybe, the entire night. So not the best. But it was definitely a situation that'll stick in my mind for a while. We've been planning to do it right ever since, and we just haven't quite had the chance. But that's probably my favorite high school memories. But a lot of my other ones are like hanging out with friends, backyard football games or actual football games, sports. Swimming, track, those kind of things, just hanging out and stuff. Definitely not like in school things, because no one likes that. But those are probably my favorite high school memories. And since I've graduated, they're all gone now. I will never have another high school memory. It's crazy. But anyways, next question we have: Do you love me? From Reese, and of course I do. Next is, how do you think Fairy football will be next year? Well, considering that we're going to be having a new coach, and also if we even have football at all next year because of COVID-19 and the coronavirus, I don't know. If we have a season, I feel like it's going to 100% depend on who the coach is and if the guys can, get with him, if they can trust what his process is, no matter if they like it or not, because that's a lot of the issues we've had. Also, it'll depend on if we start out well. If we don't start out well, then a lot of people are going to be like, well, I give up. We suck. There's no point. And that's not a good attitude. But if we start out well, then we're going to feel good about ourselves and we'll be successful. And I say we, but I'm not going to be there. But I will always be a part of Fairview football. Always. So that's how I think they'll do. It all depends on if they start well or not, and if they can believe in what the coach is trying to get them to do. So those are some two big things to focus on there, guys. Start out well and believe in the coach. Next is, what is your personal favorite, I think that's supposed to say video, that I've made? Well, the Dark Knight video was great because it's actually pretty darn good. And also my acting of the Joker is pristine. Also, it was, making it with Donovan and Luca and Dan. That was pretty fun too. Just the group I was with, things like that. And that goes for most of the short films that I've done. Because it's with friends and they're enjoyable and they're not too bad. They're pretty cool, funny stuff, things like that. So I feel like that might be, but also the random gaming videos that I've made, especially the Totally Reliable Delivery Service. I think that's a great video, absolutely hilarious, and doesn't get as much love because of a lot of little jokes I threw into it, things like that. I think are just really funny, and the editing and things I did really well on. So I feel like that should get more love. And a lot of the random game videos that I've done, I think are pretty good. So, go check those out if you're here and you haven't watched them yet. And most of you haven't, so you should go watch that. Next we have, do I support premarital handholding? And have I done it myself? Well, of course not, okay? I'm not some heathen who holds hand before marriage. Are you kidding me? I'm just, offended that you would even ask such a question like that. Okay, so check yourself. Next is, what is my most viewed video? Well, the most viewed video, and what kind of pushed us to over 200 subscribers, is ranking the tops, the 7 new uniforms for 2020 in the NFL. And it was just, really easy to just get it poked in there, okay? If I'm being honest here. Kind of played the system a little bit here. So I was editing a different video. It was another road to the Super Bowl, and I got the notification that the Rams had finally released their new uniforms, and it was like the Infinity Gauntlet, man. I was like, oh, this is the last one I needed. So I went and I collected my thoughts here. I made my decision on the ranking, made the video, popped it out real quick, and boom, views, man. Easily the most viewed video on the channel. Gained 11 subs from it already. It's doing pretty darn well. It's all about where you put it out. There's another video that I had a chance to do that with, but I was a little late with it, so I didn't get the views that I wanted. And since I was one of the first people to get a video out that ranked all 7, it definitely helped it a lot that it got the views and it got the watch time or whatever. So that was definitely the most viewed video, and pretty smart marketing, I guess, on it. Next is who are my top 5 big hot men? Well, this is an important question here, because last time I was actually the top 5 women are, right? So, and I just can't believe it's entirely despicable that you would ask that. But this is a lot better of a question here. Big hot men, that's okay. We can do that. So let's think here, all right? I got my list here all prepared. Let's go. Coming in at number 5, we have Marshall Big Texas Ticer, who is actually said to have the better beard than me in 12th grade. So I'm very disappointed in that, but I got to give it to the guy. It's a great beard. It's a wonderful, great beard. Number 4, we have the real Tony Miller coming in at that spot. You know, great rapper. Possible music video coming soon once we get the chance to go do that. So keep your eyes peeled. That'll be out on his stuff. Then we have Reese Jeffries. And number 2, this guy made both lists. We have Donovan James Miley Humberger coming at the number 2 spot. And you're thinking to yourself, who could be number 1? And the answer is Teddy Murphy. Of course it's Teddy Murphy. I mean, come on now. Who else would it be? That is the top 5 big hot men. Yeah, that's top 5 big hot men. Let's move on. Okay, next question. What's your social security number? Okay, so I don't know this off the top of my head. I'm going to have to think about this one for a little bit here. 7. Can you rebuke socialism real quick? Okay, here's the thoughts here. Socialism, bear with me here. Bad. Okay. Capitalism, good. I know, right? Who would have thought? How much is a good PC? I have around $300 saved. How much more should I save? Well, my setup that I bought and put together and stuff was around 1,500 buckaroonies, which is a bit much. Yeah, I went probably a little more than I needed to, but I also know a bunch of people that have made one for 700. That's also pretty good. I feel like a lot of this depends on how much money you're willing to spend, necessarily, instead of how much you need to spend. Because you can make a very good PC from many different prices. It all depends on what your personal preference is. But I feel like some key things when doing this is to choose like parts of it that are more important to you and get the high-end stuff for that, and then the other parts that aren't as important you can get a little more low-end, things like that. So that's important stuff to remember when doing this. Also, if there's someone else who knows more on the subject to help you to kind of choose the different pieces, that's good too. I asked my cousin to help me when picking out the stuff, and he did a great job helping me in that regard. So just find someone who knows more on the subject, or just look online for what you should get, things like that. A lot of research to be put into this, because this could be a fairly expensive thing, and you want to make sure you get the right stuff, and good stuff for your money, kind of thing. Next is what sub-goal would you have to hit to go full-time YouTube? Well, nowadays, for YouTube, how it works, how to get monetized is you have to have 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours within the last year. So it's not as much, you don't get the money because of the subs necessarily, but they don't want to get someone monetized who just had one video blow up randomly for no point at all. So they want you to have somewhat of a steady base, and also to get the watch time, because that's what they're about. They want people to spend more time on the site, so the more watch hours you have, the better YouTube feels about itself, or whatever. I don't know a specific number that I'd want to be. I feel like 100,000 is kind of a number that you get that the play button, I'm pretty sure then. So that makes you feel good, kind of an idea. And I feel like that's a very important milestone to hit. So that might be around where, but it also depends on how well monetized my videos are. That's another important factor. So with the watch time and things like that, and the ad revenue, that's also very important. So I feel like it's hard to say a specific number, but I'll say 100,000, just because it's when you get the play button, and that's like an important spot to hit, I guess. But we've got a lot of way to go for that, because I'm not even monetized yet, so I can't really, make great decision on that, I guess, because I don't know the numbers, and I can't figure out, well, if this gets this at this point, then when it's at this point, then I'll make this much, and that's all I need, kind of thing. But I'll just say 100,000, just because it's a reachable goal, I think, but it could take a little while. Next is, what made you want to start YouTube? Well, I feel like there's two things that made me want to start YouTube. One is I like just giving presentations. Like in school, if you have presentations, if we have to do that or a paper, I'm going to give a presentation every single time because I can write something and be like, blah, 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 or I can give a presentation and put my personality into it a lot easier, make it funny, more enjoyable, and that oftentimes gets me more points than it should, compared to if I just wrote something that had the exact same information. Just because of how I presented it, it did a good job, kind of thing. Another reason is I think I'm very smart. Now, a lot of you may know this, but I think I'm a pretty smart individual. So I think I know lots of different topics and very intelligently. So I like to give my opinion on things. Like the longest running, longest running, most consistent series that I have on the channel is Predicting the NFL with Mickey G. And that's because I'm giving my opinion on who I think will do something based on my expertise or whatever. So that's why I think I've made YouTube, is because, and another reason is because I feel like more people should see my genius and my entertainment abilities, because my ego is really big and I need people to, like, you know, push it even higher. So that's why I started YouTube. Is this a dumb question? Yes. And to talk about that for a second here, I kept this in as a question that I'd answer for this specific reason, because people always say there's no such thing as a dumb question, and that's just wrong. That's just incorrect, okay? There's definitely dumb questions. You don't need to ask certain questions because you either can figure out the answer on your own, or it doesn't make any sense. So always think before you ask a question, because a lot of times you can either figure it out yourself, or it just doesn't need asked in the first place. You know, there might be a time and place for a certain question, but other times it's like, come on, that's just kind of dumb. Why would you ask that here? But that is, in fact, the last question for the 200 subscriber Q&A special. So thank you for watching. Make sure you follow me on every social media possible so you can be a part of the next Q&A. We got definitely a lot of new people. We got 100 and something new people since the last one. So they're learning some things here. Also, these questions I think are a lot better than last one's questions. So we've moved up in the world. Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. But make sure you smash like, subscribe, all that great stuff, so we can get to the next milestone, things like that. And watch the whole video, dang it. And if you're here and you didn't, then that doesn't make much sense. Because, the watch hours, that's important for the monetization part, all right? But anyways, thank you for watching, and as always, adios.